What is poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at some more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle concept art. I did say the last one was the last one, but that was a lie because I've seen all this new cool concept art by this new artist on Instagram by DJ The Malt. Sorry if I said that wrong, but he posts pictures of what he designed, and I think it's important for us to talk about it. We have many different designs for the turtle car, which didn't really show up in the film. It was the basic pizza van, so maybe the next one, because there is definitely going to be a number 2, it is going to be a more upgraded pizza van like the one we see on the screen here. Because all this concept art could be reused. It could be used again for the next film. Take a look at the future of the Ninja Turtles. But here is the basic pizza van. I like the one with the pizza slice on top instead of the whole pizza. I just think it looks a lot better. And it sort of resembles an ice cream truck. You don't normally see pizza vans with pizza on top, but I think it's a cool addition to have it. Just makes it more like unique and more effective. And with his concept art, when he draws these cars, he does have one of the turtles there as a reference to sort of know how to make it, how to size it, and I like that. It's not a lot of things that I've seen done like this. And here's the final drawing with it all coloured, and I think it looks really cool, and it was really cool in the movie. It was a very important scene. But we can't just have the pizza van. New York City is full of life, full of people, full of energy, so we need other vans around. We do have an ambulance here. We do have a moving van, which is a reference to the Triceratons, which is an alien race of Triceratop people who come into the Turtle story quite often. We also have just a regular van. They did have like promotions with other car companies to make their cars in the game. As you'll see, we have a couple of minis, we have a Tesla, we have this van as well. And then we also have a black one, which sort of just to me looks like the A-Team van without the red stripe on it. I would like to apologize now for my croaky voice. I don't know if I did it at the start of this video, but I do not know what's wrong with my voice, but it is just going and it's leaving me. So I'm going to try my best to get through these videos the best I can. And we do have a better look at the inside of a van, because this is what Superfly travels through. So we did have quite a few looks at the inside of the van, and there's just so much thought and process going into this, and we do see it play out in the movie. Each section and each image is important, and that is why the concept art needs to be talked about, because it just shows the thought process behind it, and I think that's really cool. We have a fire truck here as well. I don't remember seeing a fire truck, but I could be wrong. Again, I didn't see the film like 3-4 weeks ago. We do also have a bus. This is a public bus. I don't see any references other than Big Zilla on the side of the bus, which is obviously a knockoff to Godzilla. NYPD police car and a NYPD police truck. Again, we did see this at the start of the film when they're raiding Baxter Stockman. And these trucks do appear frequently throughout the film, and they're a pretty nice design. They're a very sleek design, and I quite like it. It's very impactful. And I'm not a car person, so I don't know too much about cars, but just take a look at all the thought process that went into all these different cars, all the scratches and stuff. This is a dog pound car. I don't remember seeing one of these. It could have just been in the background. But they thought about making New York City as vibrant, as filled with life as possible, thinking of all the different cars that they could possibly have in the background, and that's just so smart. Again, like I said, we have a Mini here, the iconic red Mini. If it was set in the UK, it would definitely have the Union Jack on top, because like 90% of Minis in the UK do have the Union Jack on top, and I don't know why. Each angle of the vehicle is important, like each angle of the character is important to get it the same, similar shape. But with this film, there isn't like very little straight lines. They're all about jagged, uneven lines to make it like a kid has drawn it in their notebook. And that is really cool. It's like a teenager just doodling in the side of the notebook. And that's what this film was supposed to be. And I think they executed that very well while still making a really good, nice-looking film. It is a very unique-looking film as well. It does take inspiration from Spider-Verse, mixing 3D and 2D elements, and that is the future of animation. And I think that the more companies that are jumping on it, with Disney now with their Wish, Sony with their Spider-Verse, Nickelodeon with the Turtles, I think it's going to become overdone pretty soon. But taking a look at the technology here, which Donnie makes, we didn't see any of this in the film, but we do have a lot of focus on the Power Glove recently in films. I saw it in Blue Beetle, I saw it in Turtles, It's in loads of films right now, and I don't know why. But Donnie's gadgets looked really cool, but we didn't really see that side of Donnie in the film, which is quite unfortunate. We have art for Genghis Frog. I didn't really like him in the film, so I'm just going to skip past that and move to the pizza slices. I don't know why they're glowing like this toxic purple or this toxic green, but it is. And then we also have a look at the classroom design with Mikey, I do believe, given the head shape of the turtle, just vibing there with the rest of the class, looking pretty happy and excited. They were also tasked with creating new mutants to put into the film instead of just relying on old mutants, trying to make something new. And I really like this axolotl here. I think he's really cool, and I'd be very happy to see him in the second one. We also have this bullfrog, I do believe, with some kettlebells as weapon, battle ropes, looking really cool. We have Roy Fins, which is a dolphin. We have Major Modo. I don't know what he's supposed to be, if I'm going to be honest. But we do have Captain Ace Eagles. Obviously, he was going to be very American, very patriot. Just look at him. He's the American symbol. He's an eagle. And then we have Wingnut. But this was more of like a technological, advanced Wingnut. More robotic than anything else. And I don't like this version. I prefer the version that was in the film. Buckshot is really cool, and so is Buzz. I really like those two, which is Space Dog. Mr. Banana, I'm not too fond of, but Buckshot, I think that's really clever. The design of the sort of deer that's a hunter. The Space Dog and the Space Monkey don't really make sense, because I don't know why they'd be mutated and be space-themed. But the larvae for Superfly looks absolutely gross and disgusting. Just look at it. He was only in the film for a very short amount of time, so I'm glad we got something pretty cute compared to whatever monstrosities are on screen right now. These look absolutely gross, vile, and disgusting. He's throwing up everywhere. He's leaking. He's dirty. I'm just happy with what we got. If we see the reference top left, I do believe it was supposed to be Baxter Stockman that was supposed to turn into Superfly, but then they changed it because in the 2012 version, I do believe it was also Baxter Stockman that turned into Superfly. Or just Baxter Fly, whatever they called him in that version. It was Mikey that named them all. There was also supposed to be an alternative ending where all of New York City got turned into mutants. So here we go. This is regular mutants just wandering the city. We have bulls, cats, tigers, goose, lions, bears, loads of things. And I think it's quite funny seeing them all wear regular clothes, just traversing around New York City. Like the elephant in the tracksuit there, the cat in the sort of model clothes. We have a frog swimming in swim trunks and a crocodile in trackies. The spider looks absolutely disgusting and pretty scary. We have a lizard lady, a rat old lady. I really like the raccoon in the top left. I wish we get to see that. Again, we're using old art with that sort of bullfrog that can shoot blood from its eyes. Again, but in a different outfit. So if it didn't get into the film, they could use it again as a different outfit. I thought that was quite clever. We have a snake guy with no eyes, and then really disgusted looking other creatures, which I have no idea what they are. They just look like monsters. I don't know what that fluff ball with an eye, it sort of reminds me of that thing from Barnyard. But yeah, this is really gross and disgusting. But we do also have some alternative facial expressions for the turtles here, starting off with Donatello. Very expressive. I like how they get their faces in different expressions. Try to make them as expressive and as sort of emotionful, if that's a word, instead of emotionless, emotionful. Just look at how full of life and emotion they are. Try to make them so relatable. Like the one in the middle there for Mikey, he looks like he's trying to tell a scary story. Raph looks pretty happy in most of these. He looks shocked. He looks blank-faced. Just all these different emotions for the turtles. They just thought of everything. This character design, I do believe, is the one that they finally went for. And this is Leonardo, or Leonardo, whichever one you want to call him. Then we have Donnie here as well. Again, following the movie design, this is the final design that they had for him, going off the concept art. And I think it looks pretty cool. His wingnut and all the thought process that they put behind the wings. Because I do believe she can't fly in the film because the wings are too small, so she had to make a robotic one. And she's very similar to Donnie, and Donnie and her had that collaboration and sort of connection. Like every turtle had a mutant pal that they connected to, but Mondo Gecko is definitely my favorite one. We have some other expressions for Leo, and it does look like Leo was supposed to be the one with braces, but they did end up giving it to Michelangelo. Just given the head shape, I do believe this is Leo. But just look at how how much emotion they're trying to show through these turtles' faces with all these different expressions and how to get from each expression, how their faces would work. And like given the unique face shape of the turtles, looking like a pear, just how their face would move, how their mouth would work, what they could do with it, and just so much thought. It's just so good. Again, here's my favorite turtle, Michelangelo, full 360 of him. He looks pretty fly, not gonna lie. Then here's Raph. Again, Raph is my second favorite turtle from this film, Leo being my third, and Donnie being my least favorite. We do also have new information of the Foot Clan that was supposed to be in this film. We have Karai at the bottom. I really like this. It sort of makes them more New York City street vibes because ninjas are supposed to blend in. They're not supposed to draw attention to themselves. So them being in full ninja wear doesn't really make sense, or the stereotypical ninja wear, and having them wear sort of hoodies and trackies would definitely fit in New York City, and I like that. They look like gorillas here. I don't know why. They're sort of little legs, big buff arms. Just sort of resembles a gorilla. The D here on screen now, the one that is labeled D, looks like a monster, looks pretty scary. I like that design for the ninjas, but having them in the film is really cool. With the tease of Shredder at the end in the secret ending, spoiler alert, we will have the Foot Clan in the next movie, so this could be a quick look at what we could see of the Foot Clan in the next movie, and how they could look and how they could work in the Turtles universe. I think these ones look really long, lanky, with long limbs, pretty scary, pretty buff. Again, very monkey-like. I don't know why they're sort of walking around on their hands and knees with their sort of long limbs, big shoulders. These look half mutated as well. I don't know if they're trying to create the Foot Clan mutants, trying to turn them into mutants so they can fight better and fight against the Turtles more accurately. But we can't have the Foot Clan without their leader of the Shredder. And we do have a lot of different variants of the Shredder. Moving artists now to just NS art. And there is so many different Shredder designs. And they did take into consideration the past Shredder iterations. We have the original comic Shredder, the original show Shredder. We have the original movie Shredder, which you see on screen here from the 19-whatevers. We have the 2003 Shredder, the 2012 Turtles Shredder. We even have the Shredder from the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I haven't watched all of yet, but don't worry, I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get a series review out of that as soon as I've watched it. But I have other things that I need to finish first. This one looks like the Mutant Shredder, so maybe he could go Mutant. We did see his claw at the end of the movie, so we could get a pretty good look, a pretty good decision of what the Shredder could look like. I do like how they give us the options of him in and out of the suit, but it looks like he isn't from New York in this universe, because he looks like he's coming into New York because they were called in by CGRI, I think it's called. I like this maskless version. I think it's pretty cool and unique. Again, sticking with the heavy purples and the blues and the silvers for his armor. I did like that black and gold one, though. It was very reminiscent of the 2014 Shredder from that movie. Again, just the Shredder is a very iconic Turtles character, and they did put a lot of thought and effort into designing him for him to end up not being in the film for that long. He was in it for like 2 seconds max. And I think I'm being generous with that 2 seconds. We literally just saw his fist and his claws. I really don't like this version on screen here. It looks, I don't know, I just don't like the fact that he's just wearing pants. It's kind of off-putting. This one here is really cool. It's like he's mutated into his armor and it's breaking out of his skin. Maybe he's a robot in this version, I don't know, but his skin is ripping because of his armor. He could be a robot. Could be a robot. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if the main lady villain from the first one did turn out to be a Krang because of her name and who she works for. But just, again, moving back to the Shredder, there is so many different designs. They came up with their own original designs for the Shredder as well. I would have preferred like a tall, buff Shredder. I just think that looks more menacing, like this here, more samurai, loads of scars, really big, just threatening villain for the Turtles to go up against, because again, he is one of the main villains of the Turtles. He is the one who they fight the most often, so him being a big threat would be more of a thing, especially since how they are more they're more like teenagers now. They're always supposed to be teenagers, and I am doing quotation marks, although you can't see me. So, you know, they've been more like adults, so now that they're more teenagers, it would be a lot more scary, a lot more threatening to see an adult in like a big spiky suit like this, the big shred head himself, the chrome dome, the cheese grater, whatever you want to call him, whatever insult Mikey gave him, Raph gave him, either or. There is a lot of Shredder art. I forgot how many I screenshotted, actually. All these artists are on Instagram. Definitely go give them a follow. They can get their art out faster than I can talk about it. And they do deserve the credit. They do deserve a follow. Just look at how good this art is. Look how much effort they put into this movie. But again, we are moving over to Woodrow White. I do believe we have looked at him before, but he did design the baby turtles and the baby mutants, and I think they are so adorable. Here is Ray Fillet. He's just wearing average swimming clothes. Look at them little armbands. He looks so adorable. Here's Bebop as well. That bright pink mohawk is still there. He's got some crayon, some paint on him. Looking pretty cute. He kind of looks like a girl, not going to lie. And then we have Rocksteady, who has a little birdie. These birds usually clean out the mouth of the rhinos. And he doesn't even have his horn yet, but he's got these really big boots. Here's Mondo Gecko with an oversized shirt. He has a dummy in as well, or a Dodie, whatever you want to call it. He still has his cool sort of hippie vibe with his bandana, his little tail thing. Leatherhead, I think, was the laziest baby design, because it's literally just her adult design, but smaller for her. Wingnut's also really cute here, and she does have her arm bandaged up, so this could more coincide to why her wings don't work and she needs more tech to make them work. And then here's Genghis Frog. He's wearing a diaper. He's wearing nappy, whatever you want to call it, American or British. And he's got a hammer there, which is one of the toy hammers. And then here's Scumbug, looking pretty much the same. I didn't know originally what Scumbug was supposed to be until the end of the film, where it was announced that she was a cockroach. Here are some news anchors, news reporters, but I do think they look like some American presidents or British monarchs with the bottom middle and the top right. Just look at them, they look very familiar. And then here we have the main villain himself getting a few designs. I much prefer the one that they went with. I think it's really cool. But other than that, that is all the Turtles news, and I think this is the last one. I could be wrong. If there is another surprise, you're welcome. If there isn't, this is the last one, and I hope you all enjoyed, and bye-bye.